them another piece of property. They wanted to open a gas station convenience store. And then they bought out a lease from another place. A lot of businesses want to be in Country Club Hills, and they're putting up a laundromat. So they put $400,000 into this, renovated it, all the equipment. And for the past 3 months, the mayor, Bender McKinney of Country Club Hills, and several of the aldermen have refused to issue a business license to them. The building was inspected by St. Louis County. Country Club Hills is too small to do its own inspection, so they give it to St. Louis County. St. Louis County passed everything. The mayor has said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. I want you to do this, I want you to do that, all of which the city is not allowed to do. There is nothing in the city ordinances that says the mayor can inspect this or they can demand that. That's bad enough for a city that needs revenue and needs businesses, and here's a family that's put $2 million into it. But it's really very evident that it's based on discrimination. We have the former chief of police in Country Club Hills now, who's given an affidavit, who's given testimony, that Bender McKinney, who was then alderman, was calling this family trash. That he was saying, you let this trash into our community and open businesses, and now I'm going to clean house. We have another affidavit from a former alderwoman who said Bender McKinney was calling them those people, and they need to go back home, and we don't want them in our community, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure they're run out of town. We're not just jumping to the conclusion that it's based on race just because my client doesn't get a building permit. You would think that, because why would you run business away? They've used the pretext on this, and that's what, discrimination, there's usually, nobody says, I'm not treating you fairly because I dislike you because of your race, religion. It's always a pretext. It's always something else. I'm doing this to you for some other reason. They're saying, well, we don't want a 24-hour laundromat. Well, this is a very busy stretch of a major road, and it's a laundromat. It's not a strip club or a bar. And quite frankly, I find it disturbing and really disappointing that in this day and age, here we are again talking about discrimination against Muslims, against people who the community loves these folks. They sent, when the Country Club Hills Police Department needed bulletproof vests, this grocery store donated $5,000 for the vests. When they decided they were going to pass an ordinance to try to restrict my clients' businesses, 320 of the residents of the town said, we want this business and we want it open 24 hours because you know what? We do our laundry when we have time, and sometimes that's at night.
So,
no, I'm just going to query here. Is there any prior precedence of this type of activity going on in that community, or is this a one-off?
Well, first of all, there aren't a lot of businesses. A lot of the businesses are leaving Country Club Hills, and this poor community is really in need of revenue, like a lot of those. But this is a pattern and practice against these folks. Okay, nobody else has been treated this way. And so you start to say, what's the difference here? And then you add in the statements from others around the mayor who has heard him say, those people, this trash, those illegals. He had the police chief. He said, I know they're illegals. You're not doing enough. Harass them. Get rid of them. And the police chief said, no, they're not illegals. There's nothing illegal going on there. I'm not going to harass these folks.
And it's Country Club Hills, like you said, they do have a police department,
Yes.
but it's one of those small little communities.
Right. There's probably less than 1,000 people in this municipality.
And so this is a family who they want to give back to the community. They want to have businesses there.
They want to employ people from within the community. And you have a mayor and some others, one or two others on the board, who, for whatever reason, and I believe it is because they are Middle Eastern and they're Muslims, are going to do everything in their power to run them out of town.
So what happens now? So
Thank
what?
you.
Yeah.
That was my question. Within a perfect world, and granted, you're representing them, but at the same time,
Right,
in a perfect world, what would you like to see done?
Well, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see the city issue this business license. Really, in Country Club Hills, to get a business license, all you have to do is pay $100. That's really what the law says. And so for 3 months, we've been trying to get a business license. Ultimately, that's what this was all about. It's not about suing for damages or anything. It's give us the business license so we can open up. We've filed suit. We're going to have a hearing on a temporary restraining order either today or Tuesday because Monday is a holiday. But ultimately, just issue the license and let these people provide services to the community.
Let me ask you this, though. Because they're having such a hard time, do they, in the end, do they still want to do it? Because, you know, if they feel like they aren't welcome in this community, my feeling it would be, well, you know what? I don't even want to be a part of this community.
But it's not the community, Kelly.
I'm
it's
sorry,
the
not
mayor.
the community. Yes.
And but that's a great point. You say, why do I even want to be there? Well, you know what? Mayors come and go, and hopefully this gentleman goes quickly. But the people in the community love this family, and 320 of them said, you know, we want your business here. Thank you. The problem isn't with the community Country Club Hills. It's with the mayor and Bender McKinney and some of the aldermen.
What's the timeline on this?
Very quick. You know, hopefully the court will address it here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get this matter resolved. You know, we've got a nice, beautiful laundromat ready to, you know, open its doors, brand new, and no business license.
Very good. Jay, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much. Good to be here this
Good
morning.
talking to you. Jay Kanzler, a local attorney, and as it says here on the sheet in front of me, a jack of many trades. So he's got all his bases covered this morning for us. It is 7:30 now here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Your doc